With the history of our planet Earth. Remember, we said yesterday that the planet Earth, if we go with the theory of evolution, is about 4.6 billion years old. It took 1 billion years for life to start developing, 3.6. So basically, and then within that 3 billion years, we had the development of all our life up until the present stage where we are now. But we know that if we look back at the fossils and rocks in the Earth, that there are certain time periods where there were masses of fossils found in the Earth from that particular time. And that would mean that in that particular era, most of the species of plants, animals, or some or maybe both, became extinct at that time. But what I want you to understand is, please, that a mass extinction does not mean that you sort of go to bed tonight, you wake up in the morning and everything's gone. That's often the perception that people think, that suddenly everything just disappears. And one of the things the students would have learned is that the shortest mass extinction they deal with is about 1 million years. And then, of course, the longest one is about 3 or 4 million years. I will be coming to the current mass extinction that, of course, we're dealing with now. So mass extinctions are periods in the history of the Earth where, for whatever reason, the majority of organisms died in that particular time. Naturally, we know that the most famous mass extinction is the extinction of the dinosaurs that happened about 65 million years ago. Okay. So that brings us straight to this question about our dinosaurs. It says the dinosaurs became extinct nearly 65 million years ago. What evidence do scientists use to show that dinosaurs once existed? Well, of course, the evidence that they're going to use is the fact that we have found fossil records. We have found that there are fossils in the strata or layers of the Earth, and therefore we know that dinosaurs did exist around that particular time period. State House scientists have come to the conclusion that the period that dinosaurs existed was between 65 and 245 million years ago. Well, of course, that relates to the work that we were talking about before. That's our radiometric dating. Okay. We've looked at the fossils, we've looked at the rock in which the fossils were found, and we've used radiometric dating, that change, as I said, of radioactivity in the molecules of the rock, to determine how old that layer of strata was that the fossils were found in. That's how we could determine somewhere around 65 to 245 million years ago. 2.4.3. Describe the asteroid impact theory that is proposed by scientists as a possible cause of the extinction of the dinosaurs. Right, so here are our beautiful dinosaurs that we can see over here. A nice brown one and a prettier looking green one over there with its big horns. Yeah. And as we said, even though there have been other mass extinctions that have occurred on the planet, this is the most famous one that's said to have occurred about 65 million years ago, and it is said to be due to an asteroid hitting the Earth. So let's look what would happen if an asteroid hits the Earth. So there is planet Earth. A massive asteroid comes down and bashes into the Earth. So first of all, what it did was it disrupted the Earth's surface. So with the Earth's surface disrupting and plates moving, there was a massive volcanic era that occurred. So a lot of volcanoes blasting and smoke and fire and all the rest of it, a bit like our hellfire and brimstone that we were talking about yesterday. We obviously are going to have a massive destruction of many organisms, including which many organisms, such as the dinosaurs, also died. The other thing that I want to say is that dinosaurs were very, very big with very small heads. Now, one of the reasons we are supposedly so intelligent is that we have a great big head full of brains for our smaller body. We'll come to how intelligent we are in a moment. And dinosaurs were huge, but they had these tiny little heads. So maybe the dinosaurs, as all the volcanoes were going off and lava was spewing all over the place, maybe they thought this was like a fireworks show or whatever. And they ran
into
to come and have a look, and they ran and got covered by, of course, our molten lava. You know, they weren't so bright, the dinosaurs. But other things happened, is that when that smacked into the Earth, not only was there the volcanic ash that was generated and went up into the atmosphere, but we also know that a lot of rubble and dirt and stuff from the Earth ascended from the Earth and got trapped in the layer around the Earth, in other words, the Earth's atmosphere. Now, what are we blocking out then? If we've got a thick layer of dust cloud around the Earth, we block out the sun. Exactly. Now, big problems happen when you block out the sun. Block out the sun can't get to the Earth. What is going to slow down? Photosynthesis. Remember that every single food chain that exists on the earth starts with photosynthesis. So if the sun can't get down to the earth and photosynthesis drops, let's look at the problems. If photosynthesis drops, all the food chains that exist thereon are now compromised. So there's not enough food for the organisms. Number two, if photosynthesis drops, the levels of oxygen are also going to go down, needed for our breathing and our respiration. The levels of carbon dioxide will go up and maybe reach toxic levels. But very important also is that when the sun is blocked, we can't get warm. So the Earth undergoes a period of what is called global cooling. Now, why is that relevant if you're a dinosaur? Dinosaurs were reptiles, and therefore they were cold-blooded, just like the reptiles we see on the earth today. And cold-blooded means that they need their environment in order to warm their body up or cool their body down. Just like we sometimes see a lizard lying in the sun, warming itself up, or lying in the shade. But remember that a huge, big organism like a dinosaur cannot seek a microhabitat. It can't sort of sneak in between rocks and try and find some protected environment. As I said, they were huge. So because of the drop in temperature, that alone would have caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. But it's very relevant that in that same time period, around 65 million years ago, the reptiles were the boss of the planet. Mammals, not like ourselves, were around, but they were less prominent. So if it wasn't for maybe the extinction of masses of reptiles and the dinosaurs and that kind of thing, well, maybe we wouldn't have had an evolution in the mammals all the way to human beings. Maybe we would have a dinosaur that is our boss. Do you understand?
Okay.
Because it's had a major impact on us. When the dinosaurs became extinct, the mammals now rose to prominence in the planet.
So the mammals survived this whole tragic...
Because they're they are warm-blooded. So we control our own body temperature, and therefore we were less affected by that.
Hey, so we are very happy to be here. We survived a lot of things.
We are very happy to be here. Absolutely. So, do you want to say something?
Well, I wanted to say something because I thought we were going to go for an air break, but maybe I'm thinking wrong.
We're not going for an air break quite yet, are we? Okay. So, if we go to this question over here, it says, the diagram below represents a simplified geological timescale showing how the number of families or groups of related species has changed over a period of time. So if I look at my graph, I can see, once again, my x-axis over here is the time period in millions of years from 600 million years ago to the current period now, and this is the number of families that are found on the planet. So, let's come to our questions. It says, when did the Cenozoic era begin? So, once again, please, learners, if they give you resource material, that resource material may not be exactly the same as what was in your book. Remember, we're talking about millions and millions or sometimes billions of years. Sometimes things are different. Use the resource material. Do not come with that knowledge and then put that answer down. You must use the resource material. So when did the Cenozoic era begin? I can see that it began about there. It's the same time period as the dinosaurs became extinct, about 50 to 60 million years ago. Next one. Which mass extinction took place towards the end of the Paleozoic era? So I look at my Paleozoic era over there, and I see at the end of it, over there, the Permian extinction occurred. If I go here, approximately how many families of species died out at the end of the Paleozoic era? Show your working. So at the end of the Paleozoic era, I see I have about 200 families, but at the beginning, I had about 400 families. So therefore, around that time period over there, we lost about 200 families. Okay, we'll continue just now.
Yep, we will indeed.